it was dark. The light had gone off. Everywhere was smoky.
On Tuesday night,
While we're about to go to bed, I put water on fire, to have my bath, and I was like, you should please stay awake so that, by the time the water is boiled, I could have a bath and then we go to bed. But we were very tired. So it was like one escape route. We should just stay, in the room and wait for the water to boil.
then it happened that my wife said that she had the leading that something bad was about to happen that night. So I told her that I felt, like the same way too, like I felt off.
And so we held hands and prayed. And it was like, as we were just rounding off the prayer, it was like we were dozing off.
So like it was as if I was in a trance. So I saw my wife screaming and crying. From this trance, I woke up and I discovered that the entire house was filled with smoke.
I just noticed that my husband jumped out of the bed and ran towards the kitchen. I was sleepy. I didn't understand what was happening.
Like I had to rush down to the kitchen. Then I discovered that it was the socket in the kitchen that was actually burning. And the socket was actually very close to the gas. I had to wake my wife up.
And he was like, babe, we need to leave here right now. We need to leave right now. It was like, that was when I even remembered that I put water on fire to take my bath. So at that point I was like, God, calling Jesus. And it even took us time to get out of the door because it was dark. The lights had gone off. Everywhere was smoky. So eventually we left, like we opened the door, reached out. He was able to, switch to gen, pulled out the fuse. At that point, I couldn't even imagine what would have happened if God did not intervene. Funny, it wasn't even the gas. It was a switch in the kitchen that caught fire. And then there's this very little distance between the gas and the switch. And it's only God that knows what would have happened if the fire escalated, got to the gas burner and all. But I want to thank God because there was this prompting ahead of time. It came as a bad feeling and we were able to pray about it. Another funny thing is that when we came inside the house, we opened the windows and the smoke was going and he was like, that was just screaming. I was just screaming. I said, I did not scream. I didn't scream. I didn't even understand what was happening. I was just following him. That he heard me screaming and shouting. I said, I did not scream and shout. I wasn't crying. I wasn't screaming. So I think it was a trance. He had seen me. I can't even explain how God rescued us. And this whole thing, calculating the time we went inside, made the prayers, and this didn't happen. It was a space of 10 minutes. A space of 10 minutes. We made the prayers, and then we got up, to the fire incident.
I want to thank God for His grace and His faithfulness because I didn't even know that I was supposed to switch off the gas first before going for the fuse and the lights and the rest. I would have been very much confused then, but by God's grace and by His gift, I was able to do the right thing.
I really thank God for the gift of the Holy Spirit. It was actually a revelation that God gave to us, the word of knowledge that something bad was going to happen, and then the wisdom to know what exactly to do at that point in time, because it would have led to so much panic and the fire would have escalated. Paying attention to all of these signals, paying attention to all of these leadings, like Pastor will say, there are different vehicles, to the revelational gifts. It may not come as you expect it to, but
it looks like some things, information has come to you because this word of knowledge is like an information from the mind of God to you. That's what word of knowledge is. So, but you are like, what is the information? What does it mean? As you think about it, the Spirit of God, through the inward witness inside you, you might not hear a voice audibly, but inside you, you will just have a knowing. Sometimes you just feel like you know what this means.
If you're antenna or you are alert to the leadings of the Holy Spirit, He could minister this to you with different vehicles. So I really want to thank God for yielding to the Holy Spirit. I want to thank God for, keeping us alert, for giving my husband, that wisdom to know what to do immediately. And we thank God that it didn't end in tears.